So they released patch 1.4.0, which, let's read what it says. We're super excited to bring you the battle retry option in this update, which has been one of our most requested quality of life additions. We're also thrilled to have added frame generation and low latency on compatible NVIDIA and Intel GPUs. We are still exploring support for FSR, but we need more time to work on that. Stay tuned for more updates that are in a future patch. Battle retry, that's not bad, because if you're getting yourself canned in a fight over and over again, it might get tiring to walk to the fight every time. That's not bad at all, just being able to pick up and do it again. Obviously, I believe if you get canned and you think you need to change your pick to some sort of loadout or person in your party, you'll be able to cancel the retry and just do what you want, but that's not bad. We'll check that out later and see what that does. But so performance and visuals, DLSS and XESS enhancement, added frame generation and low latency mode support for both of these. Enjoy smoother gameplay and lower input lag. Yeah, there's nothing we can complain about that. That's some nice ones. And then quality of life improvements, obviously the best part, because nothing could go wrong with improving the way you're playing. So the battle retry prompt is a new pop-up window that appears after defeat, giving you the option to quickly retry the battle. So that's not bad. So it's simply right as you die, hopefully it pops up and you don't have to worry about anything. The Lumina cost display. The Pictos menu now clearly displays the Lumina cost of each ability for better planning. I'm not entirely sure what that difference is, but we can certainly try to pull something up that shows the two differences and see how drastic it is. But I mean, if it's just being able to read it better, there's nothing wrong with that. Autoplay dialogue. Added an optional autoplay feature for dialogues outside cutscenes. You can toggle it in the settings and during dialogues. So that's not bad. So basically, like, you know how you press A every time somebody finishes a sentence? In this case, they'll just continue the conversation, have it flow better, which honestly is much pleasing when you don't have to push the button and forget that you're even the one that has to do it. So it's kind of nice. I mean, just putting the controller down, watching rather than actively being a part of it. I mean, it's nothing major, but it's something better. And separate volume sliders. Audio settings now lets you independently adjust the volume for exploration and combat phases. If you're someone like me who doesn't mind too much what that's like, you're probably not going to touch it. But say you want to immerse yourself more in the world, you'll raise that up, and maybe the combat's a little too loud, you can lower that itself rather than just doing one master volume click. So it's not bad. I mean, it's something I'm never going to touch, and probably most of which you guys aren't either. But for those who care about it and want to immerse yourselves in different aspects of the game, there you go. So accessibility, added icons to Lumina's stains to improve readability and accessibility for colorblind players. That's not bad, because a lot of people, and I'll say myself too, have definitely, like, I wouldn't say confused different stains, but because like two of them, like the earth and lightning, sometimes based on how darkened you are when you're reading the skills, it can definitely have an effect. Like the light stain too, because it's like kind of colorful. It does make it sometimes a little difficult when you're just doing a quick glance. Obviously, if you're staring at it, you should be able to see that. But for the colorblind players, that's definitely a necessity. Like, that's good, because sometimes I imagine you're guessing. I'm not colorblind, so I can't speak on their behalf. But I don't know how difficult it was to look at those things, but I can imagine very difficult if even some normal people are confusing them. But for combat, you guys are going to love this. So I've seen a lot of people were confused about the thermal transfer. People just assumed they didn't know how the skill worked. But if you've been cheesing it, where the skill no longer grants an extra turn without meeting the stain consumption requirements. So if you were just using it nonchalantly and not worrying about the stain consumption, that's probably because you were just never meeting the threshold that you needed. So people were probably abusing that, and I know some people were. So that's, I mean, obviously a negative to people, but it requires you to actually plan your fight out just a tad more. And then the next one, characters will no longer gain immortality when using the second chance Pictos combined with healing boon and protecting death. Now, I don't know about this one. I don't have all those going for me because I'm only in the middle of Act 2. I mean, if you're abusing that for immortality, why are you even playing the game? Okay, well, that's one less person that's probably going to be abusing that system, and so that's pretty good. I like it when it's more difficult. If I'm finding a cheese like that where I'm immortal, why am I even playing it? Why am I even making these builds in the first place? I'd like to be able to steamroll my enemies, not be able to, never take a hit. All right, so miscellaneous. Fix the roacher holding a crystal occasionally despawning after re-entering the Stone Wave Cliffs. Fix some players being teleported behind a monolith upon loading a save. I wish I could speedrun that. Fix gameplay modifiers being applied to a new game save when enabled on other saves. Fixed landing as SKA without the party spawning, leading to input loss. Fix the fog on flying manner, covering the screen and blocking the view on Steam Deck. Okay, so nothing we're ever going to run into. But if you're playing on the Steam Deck, that does sound fun. Ooh, this is something people are going to love, achievements. So, fix journals vanishing after loading a save file that was created at the exact moment of picking up that journal. Wait, let me read that again. Fix journals vanishing after loading a save file. Okay, so it almost sounds like when a save file was loaded, if you picked up the journal, it just wouldn't register and then disappear, so you couldn't actually receive the journal. I haven't run into that. I don't know how common this one was, but as most people who like to collect achievements, you need the journal entries, so that's a positive. If you want to 100% this game, can't complain about that at all. The following 2 trophies should now pop up for when you load your save if you are affected by these bugs. Fixed Expeditioner and Trailbreaker achievements not unlocking if the character reaches a level higher than 33 or 66 after a battle. Fixed Connoisseur and Follow the Trail achievements not unlocking after collecting all required items on some save files. Okay. And environmental polish, various environmental bug fixes, tweaks, and visual polish across multiple levels for a more immersive experience. So that's not too bad. That's a pretty decent update, mostly for quality of life and what they can do to make the game a better experience for the players. And for those abusing certain, battle styles, fuck you. It's now gone. Thank you. But yeah, so I mean, these are all positive. It's good to see that they're constantly pushing out updates, even months after the game's released. They released it in April, and it's August now. At least hasn't. I think it was July 31st or 30th. So it's honestly, no matter how far the game has been taken and it's still playable, people are still wanting to play it. So these are very positive. But the other thing is maybe they're cooking up a DLC coming. I don't know, guys. I'm a theorist. I'm all here for it. I would love more with the story. Of course, others say their own things. But, I mean, there's nothing wrong with cooking more up a story, even if it's something minor. Giving people little tidbits. So, I mean, that's pretty good. But I'll hop into the game. We'll check out the whole respawn off death if we have to see how the pop-up looks. And maybe we'll check out that Lumina visual and see how different it is. So maybe I'll check out the Luna's stains as well. We'll check that out. So, see you guys in a second. All right, we made it to the Frost Evocate. I've yet to beat this boss, so I'm just gonna have a quick death on it so we can see that part. But first, before we start the fight, I want to check out the displays. So let's take a quick peek real quick. So let me click on it real quick. All right, so the 2 things that we're gonna compare are the light stains and the Lumina. So first things first, we're gonna look at, I don't know what the difference is on the Lumina and how differently it looks, because to me it looks the same, but I'm going to pull up what it looks like. All right, so I pulled up a screenshot of the old one, and I want to see how differently it looks. I think they made the font a little more blue, so it kind of pops out better. I'd say it looks a little bit bigger, but I don't think so. I think that's just how the screenshot came out. So, I mean, if you guys know the difference, you guys can clearly come after it yourself and let me know. But I also got the Elemental Genesis, so we can look at the difference on that. Oh, I definitely don't need to pull up a screenshot of that, but we'll compare anyways. All right, so you guys can see that. So as you can see all 4 stains. Well, looking at Elemental Genesis after the patch update, you can see they added symbols in it. So they got like the lightning bolt for lightning, earth, fire, and ice. So yeah, you can also, so if you're colorblind and you can't really tell what the color looks like, they added symbols. So now you can easily differentiate. So that's a net positive. Nothing wrong with that. We really can't complain about being able to visually see it. So if you're confused at all, just like me sometimes, how stupid I am, that's just all we really want to see. We just want to be able to identify it quickly without having to stare at it and study it. So that's not bad. We like that. That's pretty good. All right, let's get to losing to Evocate, and we'll just see how this replay works. Okay. Oh, well, I guess that's how we do it. All right, we're just going to take the hit and see how the death looks. So let's see how this replay thing is. We're gonna say no to sending in the reserve team. Okay, just like that, retry the battle. Obviously we'll just see how smoothly it is. Do we just start out? Okay, just like when you make contact with EVK. That's not bad. Alright, we got distracted. So we just got to compare the Luminas. I can't tell the difference of the stains, notable difference, so that's a net positive. And the retry, nobody can complain about just retrying right from the battle, because we all know that one fight you got stuck on for hours, or maybe a short time because you're just a god gamer. You just hate walking back and forth constantly, and sometimes your save didn't even save in front of the fight, so you're walking miles. So we'd like to see that. I hope Expedition 33 keeps putting out updates, and nobody can complain about anything that improves the quality and the consumer experience for the game. But with that, guys, hopefully you guys like the update, and if you haven't finished the game, hopefully you're using all this and not abusing those playstyles that made you immortal or free turns. So for that, with that, take care. See ya. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video and you want to see more on Expedition 33, I'm currently doing a walkthrough of the game. So if you want to see my reactions or see some elite level gameplay, click on the playlist here and above. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can catch my uploads. I'm new to the YouTube scene, but I'm looking to get more involved. So if you want to join me on my journey, come aboard. Got thoughts or questions, drop them in the comments. I read them all. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.